Rainbow Reflections, Book 2, Put Out the Fire, Chapter 7, Jealousy. The first day of school was over more quickly than Sorella thought it'd be. The classes were on the boring side, being a refresher of what they had learned the previous year. Sorella was glad they weren't assigned much homework beyond practicing the basics. Soon enough, it was Seder Day. Sorella woke up excited, knowing the first Seder Day of the school year was dedicated to club sign-ups. After she and the twins ate breakfast in the eating hall, the trio headed to the courtyard. The teachers had already placed multiple tables around the walls, and a few students were busy putting up banners on their tables. Sorella saw Hyaktu on the far side of the courtyard, nearest the Kung Fu studio. She pointed him out to the twins, and they hurried over. A large banner was hanging down from the table he stood next to, with Martial Arts Club written on it in red letters. "You three excited?" Hyaktu asked as they approached, straightening the black sash on his waist. Sorella nodded brusquely. "I can't wait to do more martial arts," she muttered. "Yeah, it'll be so fun to teach," Ren said. "Is it time yet?" Zin asked. Hyaktu chuckled. "Soon. Everyone needs to finish eating, but we'll probably see some students in a few minutes." Sure enough, as the three teens helped Hyaktu finish setting up the table, students began pouring out of the eating hall. Sorella stood alert, ready to explain the club to the first student to arrive. She had memorized the schedule easily, considering they had followed it over the summer. The club was to take place during the Tai Chi class times throughout the week, and once on Seder Day morning. Hyaktu wasn't too keen about this idea at first, as he wanted to be in on the sessions to keep an eye on things. He therefore assigned Kershit to watch the club from Moonday to Thursday, and would join himself on Free Day and Seder Day. Since Sorella was in the Moonday Tai Chi classes, Zin and Ren would lead the club for that day. On Tuesday, when the twins had their own Tai Chi classes, Sorella would take over. The Tai Chi time slot was a great time for the club to meet, as hardly any students took Tai Chi in the first place, meaning more students would be able to join the club. "They're taking forever to get here," Zin muttered, tapping their foot impatiently. Ren flicked her sibling's shoulder playfully. "Well, there are all those other clubs out there, and we're in the back. It'll take a while." "Are we allowed to sign up for other clubs?" Zin asked Hyaktu. "You're not thinking of doing that art club again, are you?" Sorella grunted in exasperation. Mint had been the leader of the art club the previous year, which took place on Saturday mornings. Sorella went to a few of the meetings, but definitely didn't mind skipping. "Maybe I am, maybe I'm not," Zin said. Sorella rolled her eyes. "You are welcome to sign up for other clubs," Hyaktu told them. "But if it takes place during the same time as this club, I can't have all three of you signing up. This is your club, not mine." "I'll look at all the clubs and get more information," Ren said. She skipped away, pulling a small notepad and a pencil from her shorts pocket. Sorella watched her pause at multiple tables and jot down information. She was so focused on Ren that she didn't realize the first students had arrived at their table. "Welcome to the Martial Arts Club!" Zin's dramatic voice called, pulling Sorella from her stupor. "We have club sessions every day but Sunday, and you're not obligated to come to each session by any means. We'll be doing basic group and kicking classes, grappling, kickboxing, and even weapons sparring if you're at that level." Sorella sighed as Zin took over the conversation, irritated that she had zoned out. The two students signed up, then moved on to check out the next table. "Good job," Hyaktu praised Zin. "I am a great actor," Zin teased. Hyaktu snorted and ruffled their hair. Perhaps you're genuinely passionate about martial arts, so you have no need to act." Sorella gritted her teeth. "I'm passionate about martial arts. I'll get everyone to sign up." She saw Raimugi, Murneo, and Frost heading for their table. "Ugh, well, mostly everyone. There's no way Frost is joining." "Hey Zin, hey Sorella," Raimugi called, waving as they approached. "Hi, Mr. Saihan." "Hello, Raimugi," Hyaktu said. "So you're doing a martial—" "Yes," Sorella interrupted, stepping forward before Zin could take the lead again. "We'll be doing martial arts every day in the Kung Fu studio, from 3 to 5 during the weekdays and 10 to 12 on Saturday. Will it be Kung Fu, or Moonday and Tuesday are the basic classes, where we will go over current level material in groups dependent on sash level. Wada Day and Thursday will be Tai Chi. Free Day and Seder Day will be combatives and weapons." "Sounds like fun," Raimugi said. I'm in. I'd love to do more martial arts. Sarala nodded curtly. Good. They added their name to the sign-up clipboard, Murneo following. Frost paused a moment, then added his name as well, much to Sarala's displeasure. She shot him a glare, but he pretended not to notice. The trio then left. You might want to take it easy, Hyaktu told Sarala. Yeah, if those were first years, you'd probably scare them off, Zin snorted in amusement. What? Sarala growled. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, you totally would. You were just glaring at them. And you interrupted Raimugi, which was rude, but you interrupt people all the time, Sarala snapped. Zin held their hands out in front of them. Exactly my point. Sarala scowled, but couldn't think of a good comeback. She clenched her jaw and swiveled away, crossing her arms over her chest. She didn't say another word to any of the interested students, allowing Zin to persuade them to sign up instead. I don't need to prove myself by getting students to join the club. That doesn't matter. What matters is I'm training all the time, making good progress, so I can become a martial arts master. Ren soon returned, notepad in hand. She glanced down at the sign-up sheet and beamed. You've been busy. Everyone's interested, then? As long as Sarala doesn't chase them away, Zin teased. Any cool clubs? Ren passed her notes to Zin. Not much, she admitted. And Mint's not doing the art club. Why not? They wanted to try out a healers club instead, Ren said with a shrug. Anyone want me to sign them up for anything? Sarala leaned forward and scanned Ren's list over Zin's shoulder. Seeing nothing that interested her, not even the weapon club she had wanted to join the previous year, she shook her head. There's nothing for me, she told Ren. Zin shrugged. I'm not seeing much either, they said. I'm kinda interested in the boat driving club, but yeah, after the hoverboat thing, no thanks. Ren visibly shivered, and Sarala wanted to reach out to comfort her in some way. Yeah, I think I'll wait until next year for that. She brightened up and said, Well, I guess I can try to get more students to join our club. See you later. Ren soon wandered off again. Sarala watched her go once more, but quickly grew bored as she waited by the table. She saw no point in being there, considering she wasn't helping out anyway. She watched Hyaktu and Zin speak to another student interested in signing up, then quietly slipped away. Not knowing where else to go, she opened the door behind the table and entered the Kung Fu studio. She still didn't have a key to the Saihan family tower, so there's no point waiting by the door in the Tai Chi studio. I might as well get some practice in, she muttered. I need to train as much as possible. Her mind jumped back to the conversation that previous Triz Day, when the twins admitted that they didn't want to learn martial arts before attending the Magic Academy, despite their father wanting to teach them. A knot twisted in her stomach as multiple emotions hit her at once. Jealousy, anger, irritation, disappointment. She was jealous of the twins for having a martial artist as a father. She was angry and irritated that they had passed up the opportunity to learn martial arts at a young age. She was disappointed that she didn't have the same opportunity, that they didn't take their training as seriously as she did. And when I had the chance to learn more about weapons, she thought bitterly, that was taken away from me too. It's not fair. She huffed in annoyance as she took her shoes off and stepped onto the orange mat. Well, they have to live with their regrets, not me. I might have a later start than if my own parent was a martial artist, but at least I'm actually dedicated to it. I'm going to be the best martial artist. I'm going to be the student their father has always wanted. She crossed to the closet on the right wall, where plenty of uniforms, sashes, and weapons were kept. Grabbing a staff, she stepped back out and returned to the mat. I have to make sure the details are in place, she thought as she held the staff out to her left. It's the grandparent of all lawn weapons, the one to set the foundations for the spear and trident. I must have the basic movements down before I can work on other lawn weapons. I'm only a master if I master the basics. Sarala took a deep breath, then moved through the form, getting the staff to wiggle as she brought it down fiercely. She took the time to lift the staff before poking it out, ensuring the weapon was lined up for correct striking. She even kept it pressed against her armpit on thrusting strikes for more stability, a detail Hyaktu had only mentioned once. She was so focused on her training that she didn't hear the door open behind her. Do you know why you have to make smaller circles with the staff? Sarala jumped at Hyaktu's voice and glanced over her shoulder at him. She stood up straight from her bow stance, letting her arms go limp. He approached from the doorway, remaining on the black floor in front of the mat. It's so you can stick better to your opponent's staff. And why would you want to stick to their staff? Hyakutu pressed. Sorella frowned. You need to stick to their staff to roll it out of the way. Then you can strike them in the hand or head once their staff is moved aside. Hyakutu nodded, smiling. You also don't want to leave yourself too open, which you're doing when your circles are too wide. Be sure you're implementing smaller circles in your form. On the plus side, you've got the finger roll down well. Not many pick up on that detail. Sorella nodded once. She returned to the sequence she had been working on before Hyakutu interrupted, making her circles smaller and tighter. Hyakutu took his shoes off and walked onto the mat beside her, nodding his approval as he observed. Much better, he murmured. Your staff form is coming along nicely. Keep up the great work. Sorella smiled, a warm sensation spreading through her chest and loosening the knot of twisted emotions. I will. Hyakutu grinned and put a hand on her shoulder. You're going to go first, Sorella. I am? She asked hesitantly. So long as you keep practicing, he said with a wink, removing his hand as he grabbed her staff. Sorella watched him spin the staff over his head with both hands, rotating it so quickly that she wondered if he was using air magic to speed it up. I can't wait to add magic to my own martial arts, Sorella thought. I must get to my brown sash soon, so I can get into Kung Fu 3. That way I can be in Kung Fu 4 by next year, before he leaves. Mr. Saihan? Hyakutu stopped the staff spinning, glancing back at her. Yes? Are you really going to leave the school? Hyakutu frowned. Yes, whenever my kids are done with school, and I'm sure this place can run without me. But you're welcome to come with us, and I can continue teaching you martial arts. It was as if he had read her mind. Sorella gaped at him, then quickly closed her mouth and nodded once. There's a lot of material that's skipped here, Hyakutu went on. Normally, martial arts takes years and years to master, not just 2 or 3. I honestly wish that I opened a martial arts school instead of a magical one. Are you going to? Sorella asked swiftly. Perhaps. Can I help? I want to master martial arts, Sorella blurted out. Hyakutu grinned, his eyes seeming to shine ecstatically. You do? That's wonderful to hear. If that's the case, I will certainly do my best to teach you all I know, especially after you gain your black sash. And if you want to help me open a martial arts school in the future, I'd be more than happy to have you on. Sorella smiled wide, her mouth aching at the unfamiliar motion. A warmth seared through her unlike anything she'd felt before, and tears of joy pricked at her eyes. She felt like she could run across water or fly through the air. Thank you, Sorella said, dipping her head and closing her eyes before the tears could spill. Hyakutu tapped her lightly on the head with the end of the staff. I'm proud of you, Sorella.